primary, and I'm transformed. What is this place?
I'm jail bus bot. I think I was some sort of a bus. I'm the school bus bot. Hey, who are you? Max Law Bus. Are you on butter?
I'm the one who's many, and I carry the sparks of the ancients before me, going back to Solus Prime herself.
We were transformers, but built on Earth by humans, messing with sparks and tech from other realities. I was like him, a prisoner transport bus, but now I'm this thing.
A protoform, the very beginning stage of a transformer's life cycle.
You mean we're born again as children? I don't like that.
The Matrix and the Forge have taken a liking to your Karda forms, and now you're one with Primus.
You called this place the Forge of Solus Prime, but it's not related to her hammer.
How do you know that?
I know a lot. I'm educated. My motto is education is a right. Suppose the ancient Transformers merely renamed it in her honor. That could be it.
Yes, the Forge was once called the Forge of Prima, daughter goddess of all Transformers, and herald of Primus.
And Quintus Prime created the Quintessons, and they in turn created the Transformers.
The Well of All Sparks commanded it, eons of the past.
So where do we go from here?
I am Misfire, herald of the last battle. Come with me if you want to live again. We must first encourage the synthoid masters to revive us in the mortal world again.
How are we going to do that?
Leave that to me.
I am transformed. My name was Transitron. I was killed in 1994 by Optimus Prime. I was a Decepticon. So was I. Ex-Labos was the name. We were kindred.
I am the grandmother of all Decepticons. You must do as I suggest. Primary is not a prime. She predates them.
Well, part of her does. He's from another timeline, so I conclude we're all in an apex where they all meet. I will point the way by returning first, but cannot go back to my timeline, so I've come to yours.
I will join you later.
How will I know it's you?
You will know. Your spark will tell you. Lead the profane ones, and reformat them into legion.
Yes, master. We should follow along to make sure it doesn't mess up.
Oh, we will mess up. It's in our nature. And what are you to me?
I am partly a daughter of a Decepticon.
Oh, I see now. Come, we must contact the flesh creatures. This way.
Ah, my creations, you shall not know that you are synthoids. When you awaken, you shall go on the mission of my choosing. Protoculture forms online, cloning process ready. For 10 long years I have planned for this day. Each time the Transformers have nearly destroyed my former master's work, and each time I have taken steps to restore it. Agents will be endowed personalities like their human counterparts. They will also be easy enough for the mainframe to copy out. The final battle of the so-called Karda in 2015 only destroyed them at my command, through the lackey I sent. The deity was crucified and destroyed in fire. You shall not be stopped, my new creations. Once you come online and gather the Ember Stones and the Vector Sigma material, you will rise again, transformed. The Life Force will alert the Transformers. They are busy right now, and by the time they get word of this, we will be entrenched. The protoculture forms are nearing completion. The stasis pods are ready, energizing space device. They will be unaware that they're not human. The mission will go on even without them knowing me. already here. FlameCon and the others are coming. I used to be a fire vehicle. I want my old form back. We would all like that. It just hasn't happened yet. Be patient. Easier for you to say. Weren't you a bus? You got to sit around and transport people. I had to put out fires. But weren't you a Maxis, an evil Karda? You liked starting them in the first place. Oh yeah! Now I had to put you in the slammer. Gooks. Shush! They're going inside and they think they're humans. Should we interfere? No, not yet. Make it more mysterious. Move on, but be careful not to go until I say the word. Let's observe. Jail spot, scout on ahead. Go.
This place was abandoned almost 40 years ago. I don't know about that, since there's something here. It's just your imagination. Now we got 10 minutes to find it before the fallout becomes a problem. Nobody said anything about fallout. That's radiation. You ever wondered why the story of Transformers jumped nearly 20 years in 1986? It was to avoid this place. I did not, because that's not true. What would you know? The next story was in 2005. Like a whole 19 years went poof. Sure it did. They say you can still hear an early version of Straaburg lurking around in here, all messed up like a ghost. Don't be stupid. I never got how he could have died twice. Once in 96 and again in 2011. His father, you know how it's always family in these things? Revenge and all that. Like in the pictures. Now who's being stupid? Quiet, I heard something. Spooked, are you? No, it came from over there. So, where are the Transformers now? Peace talks, all the way to the other planet. Quiet. This place used to be the factory floor of what became Sammeltech, and was the brainchild of Gorky and Straaburg. But in 2010, Devastator killed Gorky. Fired him, as I recall. Boom! Right out of his cannon. Messy. What's that? Dun, 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 dun. That's a Frankenstein Veritech from another timeline that merged with this one pre-Trans Tech in the 1980s. The real reason this place is off limits might be through there, past it. What are we after exactly? As you know, Cybertronians have ways of coming back online. The old brute method, like for this guy, but he's inert now. The personality cube, or the later revealed sparks. Someone has been busy. Oh, I thought you said there was nobody in here. That's true. Fascinating. This way. What's got you so riled up? Money, power, that kind of thing. Before Cybertron was, I was... Shut up. I definitely heard someone. A voice. What the hell is that? Cybertron tech. A sort of protoform chamber, but it's much too out of place here. We can't move that. It's 50 feet tall. We aren't here for that this way. But protoform and CR chambers are from the 23rd century beast era. How did one get here? Maybe it just looks like one. Well, they invented the things. This place has a space bridge and probably time-space ones too. But we're here to get the item. And what item is that? Guys, there's something really weird and scary in here. What is that? Holy mother of. It looks like an old movie I saw where that girl got plated over by the computer. That was a movie. Spoil sport. This shouldn't be here. Allison was killed in the War of Los Angeles in 1997. Who's Allison? Straaburg's wife. The pod is a name. It says Jillian. Looks like some sort of hive. And she's the queen attached to it. She doesn't look like a xenomorph. Like in the movie. Shut it. Jillian Rossmokom. Let's get the hell out of here now. This can't be. It's impossible. Straaburg's wife, no. Gorky's wife. Oh my god. What's eating you? You look like you've seen a ghost. She's a corpse. Been dead for over 40 years. I wouldn't worry about it. What the? She's like a twin. Allison and Jillian are twins? They look nothing alike. Fraternal or maternal or something? Something is alive in there. The item can wait. Let's get out of here. No, the sensor says it's in there with the life form. We're going in. Are you guys crazy? I didn't sign up for this. You might as well open the door, since it goes so well in horror movies when you do it. Open the door. That is really weird. The time-space regenerative fragment of the Quintus, an Allspark. It's back. It shouldn't be in this timeline. Quick, the case. The case, right. How'd it get here? Vector Sigma can also make Transformers because of it being made of this type of material.
The Autobots are going to be pissed. Yeah, but think about what they'll pay to get it back. We'll be rich. Boss, there's something big moving in there. I'm not detecting Cybertron energy in here. How's it hiding? It isn't showing up on sensors. I suggest we run. I am shielded from that toy because I am a Terran. It talks. Intruders to the hive. I must protect the lost queen for the new one. Oh shit. You have desecrated the spirit of the hive and the old queen's tomb. You will be destroyed. Take it back. Run. The new queen is to return. I've heard her siren call. All of us shall rise again. Look, we're sorry about all this. Please don't kill us. The protoforms here, dozens of them. They've come back online or through a space bridge or something. What have we done? The crazy alien trapped us here. We literally have 3 minutes to live. Now you tell us. What are we going to do? It seems to be obsessed with the hive like it's some sort of guardian. Why don't you ask it? This is quite bizarre. Most of this is bizarre. Hey, does the alien have a name? Hey, why don't you ask it? Hi, what's your name? You aren't one of them. You aren't royal. No, but we'll trick the mix. It's part of our programming. What? I am Mix. How do you know me? Such things do not matter. However, you may call me Trick Mix if you like. Trick Mix, like the cereal? What is this product placement? All right, Trick Mix. We are humanoids. We will be killed in a short time when the radiation gets to us. You must release us. I cannot do that until the royalties return. The royalty isn't going to return because she's dead and mummified over there. Blasphemers! You disrespect the words of the hive. You pissed him off. Good job. It's already like that. You will see, heathens. The second queen will be coming. Does she have a name? The other sister. She'll be coming just as the Primus has revived the others, so she will be revived. What? Alison Straaburg is dead. Blasphemers. She cannot die, and will one day return to us in another form to lead us again. She's quite dead and never was a transformer. The sister on the rack over there is dead too. What are you going to do when we all die? We're going to have any followers. I can copy your brains and download the data. I took steps. Well, that'd be insane. But we'd be memories and personalities only. I suppose I could start the procedure now and then free you all. But for some reason you're holding us. Did you see that, or will you perish shortly? Besides, you're obviously not supposed to be here. You're not military. No, we're criminal malcontents. We broke into this place and wanted to steal the Allspark over there. Blasphemers. The rock is not to be taken by humans. It is part of one of the celestial orbs. It is part of the Allspark. It is also called the Quintus in some timelines, because of Quintus Prime. The first Quintesson and master of the first Transformers, and one of the original Primes according to the aligned continuity. That is convoluted. It makes no matter. Did you know the first Terrans were the Dinobots? We don't care. Personality components were where sparks were housed back then. Oh well, forget it. Free us now, or we will die. You could be freed from your forms. The Queen must come again. The Queen on the wall is dead, and we soon will be. Before I help, do you know how the Rossmokom ended up being clones of the Transformers here? Do you? I assumed they were mirror universe clones like on Star Trek. The Transformers were moving a planet ship. They've been gone almost a year, and we don't know where they are. I thought you said they were at a peace conference, you liar. I said it to make myself sound smart. The radiation levels are growing too intense. We must leave here now, or our humanoid forms will die. Very well. But who are you criminals anyway? We are malcontent Zentradi, left over from the alternative Robotech timeline that exists in this alternate timeline. Malcontents, blasphemers to the hive, the Queen will have to punish you. The Queen is not here. She's not coming. Allison is dead and Jillian is dead. I'm not talking about Jillian or Allison. Stop this. The radiation is killing us. And don't tell me it's the Invid Queen, because this isn't going to happen either. I thought you were dying. The radiation levels will reach critical shortly. We'll all be destroyed. I must protect the Allspark. What's the rock? What does it grant you in life? I know you can make more Terrans. That is a bad idea. There's enough raw materials here to do so. If we activate the device, the ones from the other timeline will alert other forces we cannot control. There's little time left. Who are you? Allies, stand aside. The radiation will kill them in moments. They will perish. You cannot barge here and interrupt me. I'm Trick Mix, because I tricked Mix. Want to bet? No, 1 second thought. We are kindred. We can assist. Yeah, real convincing. I was much more so when I was a prisoner transport. We know,
Begin the procedure to transfer their minds to the Allspark device. You could just let us go. You could just let us go. No, we must have the procedure, and then to revive us with your life force. Blasphemer, who are you? Primary. I must create more of our kind, so when the royalty arrives, we'll have an army. She's changed her mind. That is it. She's a she. I don't know, but we need to get out of here. The procedure is incomplete. You must remain here a bit longer. No, we must get out of here. It should be done quickly. The procedure is just scanning you, scanning protoforms, downloading data. It is too late. They are dead. Scanning data. Biological entities are offline. Brain functions have ceased. Downloading, copying, and booting. Protoforms emerged, defiling the hive. Wait a minute, what am I doing in this weird body shell? I should go scorch earth on you. You're no longer Mix. You are now Blazod. What have you done? You've killed us all. And now, I have saved you. The royalty will not approve. I shall let you keep the name Trick Mix, because you tricked Mix. That's a lame reason, Primary. And what am I? I seem pitiful now. You are no longer Jules. You are now an emo protoform, Pity Bowl of the Dog Con. That name is pitiful, but okay. That's rather on the nose, so who am I? You shall be called Slam Trip. Some of you are named for fallen Karda, or most of you are. But you're only partly them. Your humanoid personalities will integrate. Well, I don't like your tone, Primary, but I have no say, really. And we should probably go. This place is creepy. Was my animal form a wrestler? That's okay by me. Okay, why are we protoforms of Terrans? You are still heretics. Science facilities each have one of those rocks. And the next one is at Simultech. We should go get it. Well, I'm going to go by School Bus Bot, my old persona. So why should we listen to you, Trick Mix? More robots just showed up. I know you somehow. Didn't I arrest you once? I was ex-law bus. No, you're confusing me with him. I'm Bus a Bot. I'm thinking he wanted to be a prison bus once. Really? Jail Bus Bot? I am Misfire. I was one of the first. Or that's my personality component says. But I don't remember all of it. And I'm Jet Smash. Why should we follow you, Trick Mix? Yeah, now that we're robot protoforms, we don't need to follow you anymore. I am your leader. Follow me, not him. You rebuilt us, but that does not make you the leader, heretics, amateurs. He's lame. Besides, his name is Trick Mix, and that sounds lame. We're all malcontents. Let us cry havoc. Transform and roll out. Fly out, I guess? What have we done? But you did it, not me. I saved their minds, but all you did was blur dogma. Let's follow them. Very well. We know about the bodies. What are we going to do about the bodies? I don't know. I guess they're going to stay there. Someone's going to find them. We're Terrans. We're robots in disguise. Stupid. Technically, we're not robots and not people either. We're androids or Terrans or Karda. It was very slow going being a bus. How can we recall that? Karda is a solid name. What do we do with this preacher guy? Oh, we'll take him with us. But Transitron and I guard the hive, even though we just showed up. Your queen is not coming back. The royalty will return. I must stay here and guard it. The rock energy also must not be taken. Oh yeah, the sacred thing. We'll take that with us. No, you blasphemous, you thieves. You gonna stop us? Nope. Take the gizmo. Let's roll. Someone is sure to come looking for that. Yeah, by the time they do that, we're out of here. Ah, Karda, we're alive again. I'm not sure why, but we go. You sound familiar and annoying. I know you. How are we alive again? The Cybertronians revived us. Nah, that goofball killed our humanoid forms and downloaded us into these bodies. We're all alive again. That's what matters. We'll find out what's going on and ask questions. It's important to ask questions. You're not really a school bus anymore. You're a protoform again. Did you know that most cop shows get it wrong? Miranda rights and all that? Lie detectors? Right to an attorney, for example? It's not a guarantee. And you're not really a prisoner transport anymore either. Deal with it. You do have some new traits I don't remember the old one had. And I'm not a mini-tank anymore, but I remember what we were. They must have downloaded our personality components from the Karda that had been defeated during the war. I'd like to know how they did that. The computer system, a copy of Vector Sigma, brought us back online to fight some sort of threat. That's what did it. And how do you know that? I am presuming that since we have been inactive for so long, that only a threat could have brought us back. How long has it been, Cybertronian? By your reckoning, about 10 years, but in another timeline it was way earlier. So it was alive and dead again. We're alive again. We're protoforms. We haven't assumed new body shells yet. I was a prisoner transport,
and I could trap the evil Karda, but they must have all died. Are you sure that most of them were killed off in 2015 in that battle for the computer that reactivated you? It isn't wrong. There's a signature. Something has survived. And it's headed this way. It's indeed possibly looking for those Allspark things, also called the Quintus, those spheres, the celestial orbs. It's sort of like crystalline protoculture, but not really creation matrix material. It's stuff Vector Sigma is made out of. At least, that's my guess. Stop with the lecturing, school bus bot. What were you, a short bus? You're confusing me with gunship.
Yeah, poor gunship, but I resemble the short bus.
Blasphemers. Fine, desecrate the tombs of heroes. Might as well bring some of them back. They're the Transformers. When they returned, will have a mess on their hands. Something like that stopped us before. This time, let's not slaughter each other in full combat. Misfire. You were the one that commanded the ship into space and the celestial orb on board, and then came back, one of the survivors of the battle. Who'd you pay off? How could I have bribed anyone? I didn't have any energon cubes or anything of value here, and like you, I awakened in that chamber back there. I have no idea why we're back. We just are. You were also a survivor of the battle. Who'd you pay off? I had no use for money. Nobody got paid. I used to be a rampaging tank thing, as my Karda personality is here somehow, too. Why were we taken offline and made protoforms for so many years? There were other versions of us online that would have affected the timeline, but that's just an educated guess. Certainly more of a hypothesis than a theory, but we can test it, and then it will become a theory. What? Do you ever stop yammering? I'm not yammering. Simultech bought out Legato. It's the same side as the final battle pyre. It's over there. But let the dead rest. Grave robbers. I would agree that it's ghoulish to go over there, but here we are. What's left of it has been off limits since around 2018. The Transformers closed the space bridge here, and I think they dismantled it. This is weird. I am FlameCon. Welcome to the pyre of the last battle. I'll be your tour guide. Step this way. With the Transformers away, the only Cybertronian-like life forms would be the Robotech variety around here from the other timeline of the space bridge. Yeah, it's kind of weird they took off to go help that planet thing, and now they're just gone. Well, they'll be back. Well, I know that there's another faction that thinks they're them too, on the east coast of the United States on Earth. Yeah, we get that a lot. Well, there aren't any strange energy readings going on here. What's that? That is what is left of one of the Bayverse Transformers, Capri Karda. They left him dead here. The Bayverse, as in the Dark Lord Michael Bay. Yes, the Bayverse. You know, the hyper-realized silly version of them? You know, they left him hanging around. That could be convoluted. I'm detecting no unusual cybertronic spark energy readings. So what are we looking for over here? It's about family. Shut up. Here's what we're looking for. Interdimensionally, there are probably many Allsparks. In some universes, the Allspark is an all-knowing device that somehow creates life for all Transformers. And sometimes it can be lost and all Cybertronian life dies. Then we're somewhere in between. We really did not need that explained. Yeah, I guess not. I feel like I'm still in school, although my earlier Karda personality had been a dog bot, and apparently had a bite. I'm not sure why I remember that. That's not a good place to hide one. A creation matrix would be where you would least expect it. I managed to access the planet's internet, and I didn't know I could do that. The only reason the Robotech and G.I. Joes aren't here right now is because they're busy. Well, actually, kind of broke. Well, half of them got kicked out, the other half were fired. That isn't entirely accurate. You don't care. I do, but I think in my other life I built a cat bot. Gay kitty. She could fight you, but as a cat, she wouldn't care. Exactly. Here's what we came for. Grab it. How are we going to carry this off? The royalty has come at last to stop us. Now wait. You aren't Jillian or Allison. Look out. With the Maxis gone, this one has taken up the mantle. But we'll stop her. She's not one of us technically. Famous last words, Terran. Oh crap. Who are you? I am the last of my brethren killed in battle at the dawn of their creation. I am the fourth horse bot of the apocalypse. Raksha. The last of your kind. Are you some kind of space deity or something? Oh no, the deities were all killed. I am generations removed from the Karda and the fans that created me. But carry her name. My grandmother was Night Racer. Da-da-da. What became of your father? He was killed in battle, died with honor. She's not talking about Genesis Catbot. She's talking about Scratcher. Not Scratcher. He was your stepfather, and he was gay. No, Genesis Catbot was your father. We do not discuss his fate. You're just other protoforms from the Sparks. You're all playing. You're pretenders. No, Primary, I'm the Princess Incarnate. And since my mother's gone, I'm now the queen of you all. You will bow down to me. I bow only to the royalty. You're an imposter. Your minions are just lost souls. How dare you, Raksha? Let us not forget how you two were brought back. The Allspark Rocks did it. Enough. The scavenger followed us here. Yes, a former dog bot. Leave him.
Malor terrorized. I am Malor.
We are also collectors or scavengers. I gathered you were scavengers. There are places I need to go, creatures we must find, and then we need to exhume the remains of some of them, so that I might scan them. That'd be a very bad idea. You did not introduce yourself. I am called Primary, or I was, before the conjunction of space-time that brought me here, back as this protoform. Raksha must have met with a similar fate. Primary, your name can mean a number series, and you don't do math. Well, that's weird. Hey, who's directing this here? More blasphemers? More zealots? Quiet. There are other scavengers approaching. What in the name of Primus? I am Trickmix, and this is my army of Karda. We are here to destroy the resistance and find the royalty. More like a lame platoon, as an army would have had more bots, but very well. The malcontents shall become my new Maxis minions, and the rest of you will be cannon fodder. That is if we had cannons. I am Primary, because I found the royalty, and the forge, but it was also the name of a hammer. The forge you found was Primus' forge, not Solus's forge. It's a star system. Not you, the other royalty, the new queen, the returned queen. You're not her. Oh, come on. I descended from the grandmother of all the Transformers on the Decepticon side. I'm descended from Solus Prime, too. So what? You don't look like Primary. She was a Cybertron fire truck. Similar to Firestar. I assumed this form after the great battles, and I will assume it again as a protoform to better blend in. Enough. You scavenger bots will be destroyed. I cannot have you here rummaging around, stealing other Allsparks. Scavenger bots have infiltrated the gravesite of heroes. Destroy them before the rocks create more of us, said them. The war will continue, as I crave chaos. We'd rather not. That kind of reminds us of ourselves. Yes, I'm not really in a let's destroy them type of mood. Killing them is rather redundant. You're supposed to do as I say, as your creator. I'm Ace Case, and I have a question. Who created you? Were you regenerated by the Allspark, like some of us? Or a rock, or something? We are current versions of the Karda. You mean there's some of you still alive out here? I thought we were the only ones. Don't be ridiculous. Some of us were not killed. I mean, yes, several versions of us were totally killed. But not us, until today. I, for instance, am Jailbus Bot. I was recently restored from a spark or memory component. I had a similar reactivation. Light Rail Bot and Light Rail Con were killed, as was the original Bus E-Man. Yes, poor Bus E-Man. We mourn the death of Bus E-Man. Someday we will restore them to life and be the Gestalt once more. My other form was that of a transport from another timeline, but Optimus Prime killed me. Well, I figure since that happened off screen, it wasn't canon. A pox on your cannon, I say I was. I was a Decepticon, so I guess I was the evil bus commander. I was about to form a new army of Vehicons. Vehicons? Is your other universe confused or what? Yes, our Beast Wars even happened differently, and Unicron came earlier. I don't want to know. But on the Rise of the Beasts offshoot, there was another Herald of Unicron called Scourge, who appeared much sooner than he should have, in 1994, when his Unicron was also different. I'm called Misfire. Misfire? Like the Decepticon? Copyright problems or fan crossover? Hasbro is okay with me as I predate their copyright. If anything, they would have to pay Calcat for use of the name, and they're not about to do that. Please stop the fourth wall breaking. What are you trying to be, Linkara? Yeah, these jokers haven't introduced themselves. The Decepticon Karda, the Maxis, wanted their own deadly fire truck force to fight our bus force, so they merged with their big boss instead. Well, I'm also sort of FlameCon. Ironically, I was burned to death twice. Misfire is fine. It's a joke. See, like Miz, and I'm kind of a fire vehicle, like robot thing. Well, not anymore. My protoform is kind of screwed. So we'll get out of here. So, some of you still live. How did you manage to get out of this? Yeah, a bunch of us got into a spaceship and left the Earth around 1987. But we came back. Yeah, this other group of Karda that were copying. They came back in 2015, but they were totally killed. And I suppose that's the site you guys want to go raid, isn't it? Well, yes. Even if you could go there and copy the personality engrams somehow, like you want to, they would immediately start killing each other again. Maybe we can put up certain restrictions and firewalls and stuff. Well, it's weird and morbid, don't be absurd. Yeah, but we should do it anyway. I find this hard to follow. All the clues must be there. This is circumstantial evidence. So we were just created from the Allspark and the other dead guys and the other ones in the building. So we're technically like children. We're more like reboots of the original characters. Same name, different guys. That's it over there, the site of the final Karda battle of 2015. The large mounds represent where they were all entombed. It was a glorious battle, and they were all buried there. The remains of the JDOS Cat 2. Wow. It was basically the evil battle fortress. We retrofitted it as a ship. You guys have been here ever since? Somehow you survived the battle? How did that happen? They just never got around to blasting us, so when the fighting stopped, there was just a few of us left. You're right, school bus bot. This place will not hold answers for us. No, we cannot defile the pits of the fallen. I was a school bus bot, but as you can see, my proto shell has been lost. But we're kindred, even if you're newer ones. You might say we've become enlightened and gone over the rise, or space bridge, since the death of the deity. Ah, the deity, the Invid commander. Yes, I remember the weird chanting, and his burning on the cross, like a Christ figure, only he didn't resurrect. Yeah, he was rather cheesy. Wasn't there a second one in 2022 or so? I wasn't privy to that. After all, we were just activated. I wasn't not there either. I came later during the period of the Lexicon's invasion, and we did go to that strange planet, and we moved it. Although, yeah, so I've been here ever since then. This new royalty is not the true queen. Who is this new royalty? I do not understand. I don't understand it either. Don't ask me. I have no idea how we got rebuilt, except close proximity to machines that do that. You're from another timeline. How would you know? How would you know? Fair. I do not know. You two stop that. You're giving me surges. She's not a deity either if she has surges. He is learning, only not as fast as we hoped. I can't believe I decided to follow you heretics and hide it. I'll explain later. Oh, by the way, I'm Ratatek. I used to be a cargo space jet, but now I'm a protoform again, like you. I was crushed in battle, but now have been copied into a new protoform. I am Bussabot, or I was. I was crushed also, but got... And I am Ace Case, a former flyer too. There have been several of me also. The gang is mostly all here and not able to get assumed vehicle modes. No sparks here. You shall not do so. Even being here is sacrilege. None of these fallen robots function, and their personalities are lost to time. We shall go. Where should we go? Over the rise. Finally at last. Onward to an uncertain future. Free from the confines of adversity. Hey, wait. Come back. Wait for me. Guys. Come on. School bus bot. You and the others go off in that direction, and the cat bots, you go in the other direction. The rest of us will go down with that. Very well, I will lead them. What are we looking for? More of those rocks? We might find more of them rocks here. No more personality components. Well, since I don't understand how the law actually works, it's not unlawful for us to be here. I was a prisoner transport. You, school bus bot, act like the magic school bus. I don't have magic powers. There was a cartoon show. Oh, never mind. I sort of switched sides, but I don't know why. I was always clear on which side I was on. There are a bunch of dead bots over there. It's kind of useless to rummage around in here. Oh, look, it's a representation of him. Oh, the original was totally destroyed. Gunship. The original was horribly mutilated. The original was ripped in half. And over there must be a representation of the remains of us. The burnt wreckage represents the original remains of Transitron. I'm him in name only. Without the light rail con leader, the light rail bot leader, and at least one of the arms, we cannot form Transitron anymore. And obviously, Mr. Wizard. Some of the others died over here. This one kind of looks like Galvatron. That's weird. Maybe it's a Rossmokom Galvatron. That is weird. Yeah, our personality components came back when we were all reactivated, so sparks knew where to find us. Or disembodied sparks know where to go. That's possible. In another timeline, the Beast Force characters were able to do that. Like Starscream, traveling interdimensionally. Now, let's not do too many references. This way? All I know is that when I was a jail bus, I was a prison bus, and I was responsible for rounding up criminals. But we let a bunch of them go just now. I know that. It's all very weird. I didn't know that we could come back from the beyond, from the Matrix. Never like Silicon Valhalla. So Simultech was legato-based, but there were just 2 of those. We appear to be in the one that was not completely obliterated in 2010. Yeah, but the 2015 Second Battle of Karda had happened. Clearly some of it was left. Some of them thought that 2 billion years went by. Clearly that's impossible. I wonder what timeline had diverged from this since. When the first new Karda emerged, they were under a crazy delusion that billions of years had passed when it wasn't. But then the deity guy showed up, and he told him no, it was only a few years. The timeline from that split in 2015 during the fighting and rippled into space-time, so that a 2030s superdimensional Fortress 3 happened to come here early, in about 2009, creating a new and different timeline. Does he ever stop? I've never seen it. I guess since I'm like your replacement left on, what was his name? Nah, you were never in our Gestalt. But then again, we never once merged to form the Gestalt either. I was just wondering. Jail Bus Bot made up his right arm and X-Law Bus his left, but he turned on us. School Bus Bot and I were his legs. I don't think we could have merged. Anyway, this way. How many of those goofy rocks are there anyway? This one appears to be motion activated. Maybe they fell off the ship. There was a celestial orb too. What was that made of? There was a celestial orb too. What's that made of? You can ask Misfire when we find her again. I think it was one of them things. One of them spark creating things. A spark creating thing? That sounds dangerous. I wonder why they never used it before. They could have created innumerable armies of Transformers that way. They could. But they never did. Halt! I am Scratcher. We are here. I see. We found something. The decimated remains of him. It appears to be air flight, but we're not on the same planet. Similar battle must have happened here. Check for brain activity. There is not. He is quite dead anyway. The spark would be in his chest. Sometimes in the chest, but sometimes in the head. Didn't we die close to Genesis Catbot? Our Gestalt commander. Let's see. He should be right over there. Well, the only thing left of him is an arm and some of his shoulder. Well, he's pretty dead. Airflight's head is not intact. He should have been obliterated. There's another arm, the guy that got killed by the pincer robot. There's all kinds of dead robots around here. I don't know why they didn't bury them better. How am I going to be able to answer that? Hey, I'm the smartass around here. Oh, yeah. Is that the charred remains of the fallen leader of the evil Maxis Karda, Battleship 2? I do believe it is. Yes, what's left of him. His spark was literally obliterated out of him. You mean it's Battleship 2? Yes, Battleship 2. The original was destroyed in the first battle in 2011. He was the one killed in 2015. The other one was from the adjacent battle timeline. The alternate timeline Cobra and Straaburg tapped into using the power matrix. The Transformers meets Robotech appeared much later, but took place a few years before the final battle. Meaning that if they killed any of these main guys early, it never happened. But it did. Tripredicus Agent led their Karda and Maxes to another destruction, but all of them were time-trapped copies and not the originals. Not exactly. The timeline called Transtech gave a different Karda battle 5 years earlier than it should have happened, creating a different timeline. Straaburg didn't know the power of that power matrix, also contacted the multiverse, and pulled the Robotech people in too, hence the title they later called The Transformers Meets Robotech or Transtech. Very good. I didn't know you had it in you. I may be emo, but I'm highly capable of remembering things, especially morbid things, like Space Wars where whole timelines die. Good to know. Thanks for sharing. Information we need, I guess. What are we looking for? They're just ahead. Is there anything left of these guys? Why are we doing this? Looking for sparks or something? No, we're not looking for sparks. Well, I think we're the only ones. It appears the leaders were completely obliterated. Reactivated for some reason to fight a threat or each other. And we still don't know why. We could go back to that mummy we found. Maybe it knows. The mummy thing was inert. It was quite dead. The bandit guys are dead too. They were involved there. What are we going to do with them? The bodies will eventually be found by the humans. I don't know how they were able to download the brains, if that's what you're thinking. I do not either. I'm guessing they just were connected somehow to Cybertronians. You mean they were synthoids and not people? I hadn't thought of that. If they were synthoids, downloading them would be pretty easy. But then again, why would the radiation kill them? What if they didn't? What if they just think it did? What are you saying? What if they were synthoids that didn't know they were synthoids and then they just freaked out because they were dying and they really weren't dying? It was pretty quick, wasn't it? Self-preservation ability? The others will find that. I will alert the others created in the incident to meet us there. Let's roll. Or run. Either we terrorize or maximize, I guess. Dun 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 dun. I don't like the idea of going back to the place where we all died earlier. Yeah, why do we have to follow that leader lady anyway, and her friends? I don't know, but here we're kind of back where we started. Feels like we're running in circles. Don't we know it? Wait a minute, looky here. Was that there last time? I'm assuming so. Did you guys see the Frankenstein Veritech move? He did not. Don't be an idiot. Frankenstein Veritech's not moving. See? He's not going anywhere. And besides, history records that Dr. Frankenstein was not the monster. He was the doctor. The monster was simply called the monster. You're starting to sound like that bus guy. What's that? The corpses. This is us. Don't you mean they are us, not this is us? As that would be terrible grammar. It's either they are us or these are us. But this is us makes no sense. No decomposition. It's been, not long enough for that to happen, but rigor mortis should have set in. You mean we're not dead? That would seem to be the case. Our minds are in these new forms, copied into them. We could attempt to reactivate them and put them in new protoform robots. Well, the protoforms are right there in front of them, but how are we going to do that? Why don't we just take the bodies and drop them off at a hospital somewhere? That's a good idea. Are you nuts? Well, yes. That's weird. There's markings on us. I didn't notice this before because you never see your back of your head. There's a cobra markings. You mean we're synthoids and the radiation wouldn't have killed us? Oh, well, then I'll start us back to life. Least I can do, since you might leave the hive alone if you leave with them. How would I do that? Some energon or something? Those glowy energy rock things.
Then they become Cybertronians again.
Oh yeah, that wouldn't work. I have an idea. How about we just zap them a little bit? We're already protoforms, right?
Reactivate them.
Shells. Very well. Download and reactivate them. And the robotic body shells. We'll have similar personalities, though. That'll be confusing. They'll be different colors and join other gestalts. Don't worry about it. Arise, copies of Karda, malcontents. What happened to me? How long have I been gone? We share similar mind engrams. And you and me. Our minds were downloaded just before we went offline. We reactivated you. You reactivated us. But we're not robots. Actually, you kind of are. No, you're synthoids. The radiation wouldn't have killed you. The synthoid malcontents kind of makes sense. You're Cobra copies, but we're Karda. And I share a mind with Pitiable. If we're Cobra copies, then the three of us are back. Well, I guess we're kind of like Target Masters or Brain Masters or something. Yeah, kind of sounds weird, but calling them Chess Masters would be weirder. Wait a minute, if we're synthoids, we weren't actually going to die. Something led us here to have the brains exchanged and duplicated. We can't keep downloading ourselves into protoforms. Besides, it appears that all of them have been activated. Makes them all kind of schizo. Yes, there's 30 of us, so there can be 6 gestalts. So, 3 humanoid guys and 3 robots to fill out the gestalts. Well, come with us. So what do we call these guys? Why, little robots, of course. Hi, who you calling little? Well, let's roll. The synthoid humans can come with us, wherever we're going. I have a sinking feeling that this has all been rewritten, so we don't have to fight each other to the death. It's just as well. I don't want to die again. Let's move out. Oh yes, my brethren, the last of Doombot lies here in pieces. But the spaceship crashed into it and exploded. He's everywhere, but his spark did not endure. A dark energon cannot be destroyed. He's here in spirit, I guess, this way. And we are not that far from the destroyed deities. This place is creepy. That's the fun of it. Yet there's no sign of life in the remains. The Doombot was completely torn to pieces. The Doombot is quite dead, even here on this planet. The Karda rebuilt the enemy starship into their new ship and crashed it into him on fire. Yes, there it is. He's gone, but he will be remembered. Now, I've always wondered how they decided who were the Autobots and who were the Decepticons. So it was just like a moral quandary with those guys. It's like either you're the good guy spark or the bad guy spark. I'm never quite clear on that. It's not the Karda way. We're more ambiguous, more morally questionable. The malcontents were like that. And here we are. There's no spark, and there's no extra spark. No matrix. That's what you're looking for. Doombot was a sparkless robot, remotely controlled, but how was he being operated? He was a herald of Unicron in some ways. That doesn't answer the question. No one knows what was powering him. Doesn't really narrow it down. I didn't say it made sense. We're not making sense. I declare that Doombot should never be reactivated. Maybe that's why we're here. Why would we be here to put the bad guy back together? That's a fair point. There's literally nothing left of the other bad guys. Pieces of him everywhere. The Dark Energon has apparently been removed. Probably by the Decepticons. The energy and laser cores have been extinguished. Well, in pieces. But it's extinguished. The transformation cog appears to be intact. Is that what we're looking for? Transformation cogs would enable us to transform once more. But we can't use these dead guys' cogs because they're quite broken. There's no other way to do this, is there? There's budding, but that's impossible here. I think all I have to do is find a place that has a bunch of extra cogs lying around. Simultech is a cybernetics facility. I'm sure they have some. I don't think the Autobots would leave something like that lying around. That you could just make soldiers one after the other. Unless Gorky and Straaburg saved a few. All we need is about 30 of them. Who are those guys? It's the malcontents. How are they back? Turns out they were synthoids and they weren't really killed. Isn't that amazing? So we copied their personalities several times for no reason. Well, there was a reason. We thought we were helping. You're still blasphemers and still heretics. You've all been brought back like zombies, and no, you should not have the cogs. That implies you know where they are. Oops, I probably shouldn't have said that. They wouldn't leave something that important just lying around. No, they would not. Well, the 3 synthoids, they will now be known as the little robots, and will be like brain masters. They're people-sized robots. Great, that's wonderful. Why are these names so on the nose? I don't know. What is that? Oh no. Don't touch that. It's dark energy. Our people invented it. You did not. You merely altered energy onto it. It is the lifeblood of Unicron. So are minicons in the other timeline, and there is cells or minions. And we are minicons. Stop with the lore. Dun, 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 dun. What? Where am I? In a weird ethereal plane? A dead space. But it's a simulation. You are still in Rossmokom. So it's like I'm in a dream. A dream deferred. Get it? Are you a false deity or something else? I am the one who is many, and you are the Alpha and the Omega. Possible. The fallen is long gone. Energy cannot be destroyed, only transformed. You should know that. The fallen shall return. Indeed, yes. The spark that resides within you, primary, is descended from the primes, descended from Solus Prime. A piece of this is you, the Matrix Muerta. The Matrix Muerta actually found it. No, this is a part of you. You touched the dark energy stone. Oh yeah, that's right. Probably wasn't a good idea. No, it was not. However, they must know when the battles happened. You must know. The cosmic split in the timeline, Straaburg and the multiverse created, made 3 timelines, which blended Transformers and Robotech. The current timeline appears to be Space Bridge, but also it could be Mush, Lexicons, or Legacy. I am told this. I've come from the Forge, but cannot leave them. They're Karda, and I am not. You are, actually. The Rossmokom were meant to be the backups, cloned copies of Transformers, and intended to replace some of them to correct the timeline. Oh, so there were 2 armies of Karda also, that remained on the Earth, or another one that went into space, and came back. Yeah, sort of duplicates online. Yes, the ones in the 2011 battle had been lost, and were rebuilt to fight in the 2015 one. Unaware of their duplicity, or even multiplicity. It's not all that complicated. In one universe, a tripredicus agent deity was destroyed. While years later in another, the Invid deity was destroyed. No Invid invasion. That's all I needed to know. Why'd you bring me here to tell me this? I did not. You came here of your own free will. Oh, you're just a part of me, the Decepticon side. Yes, there were always many factions. That's why there had to be more Karda on the Earth in 2012 than in 2015. Not necessarily good versus evil, but rather 2 sides. 2 sides of the coin or multiple sides of the puzzle cube. The Allsparks. Precisely. Are you the dark force we're about to fight or face? No, I'm a version of you. I'm part of you. As the thoughts of those malcontents are. They're robots. You didn't answer my question. I'm sure you have many more, and a copy of me will show up. There we go. Transform your destiny. Where'd you go, Primary? I am more than meets the eye. Primary, what happened? I believe I had access to part of me that was still Decepticon. That is not good. No, it's not. Well, it's not good or bad. It's just dark energon, corrupting whatever it touches. I cannot purge it. That part of me is primary. Nobody else touched that. We're all transformed. Well, we don't have transformer bodies yet, but we could. Should we go get some? Not yet. It would appear that I've contact with the Matrix of the Dead, the Matrix Muerta, from all of this destruction around us. It was rather cryptic. I didn't think that thing still existed, and Doombot didn't have it on him. We should bury that crystal. There's a copy of it. The entity I encountered indicated there were 2 groups of Karda. The group that died in the Battle of Straaburg, and the group that died in the Battle of the Entity Years later, someone has a copy of the Matrix Muerta. Yes, we must find it before they open it and create more Karda and more destruction.
Is it Cobra? The synthoids were from Cobra, yes. There's 3 of them. Unfortunately, this is all sparks. Things downloaded copies of them into the global network. Therefore, they can track us. But that is not good.
And if they know where we are, so does the enemy.
Exactly.
The thing wanted to reproduce itself. It needed more. It needed to bring itself back from the beyond. What better way to do that than to trick us into reactivating it? You mean the mummy's alive somehow? A ghost in the machine?
No, it's probably brain engrams copied into the mainframe at Simultech, which would be under very hard materials, which would not be destroyed even in the space blast.
We must go back. Let me introduce our new guests, little robots.
All right, you guys, just show up. So Primary visited the Matrix Muerta, sort of. The part of her that's it, I guess.
Yeah, so?
The point is that someone else sent those 3 malcontents here to get something. The power to make Terrans or more powerful synthoids.
We didn't know we were sent by Cobra. We're just malcontents. But the markings on us indicate we are Cobra synthoids. That could mean somebody just borrowed the technology.
Someone reactivated us and reactivated Simultech, even though it's in ruin. Who would do that? Maybe some G.I. Joe that got out of this before it stopped. I don't know. I might know someone who might be able to help us find this mysterious benefactor. A hacker.
Well, it couldn't get Circuit Breaker, because he's dead.
No, it's not him. Greeting strange protoforms. I'm Shadow Dancer.
Shadow Dancer. That's cute.
It's supposed to be a cool hacker name. So what can I do for you?
Days ago, 3 malcontents broke into Simultech. They apparently died. However, they encountered an ethereal space spark generator device that put their minds in robots.
Yes, at first 18 of us were created as a result, but there are more. Several hours ago, some of us returned here to Simultech and Legato to discover that 3 had not died, but had been reactivated and their brains regenerated. We were hoping you could find out who sent them. As a Cillian myself and a traveler, I'm immune to the space radiation in here, and I also can tell when another Robotech master has crafted some work. I know who he is.
Gemelt.
Yes, another traveler named Gemelt. But now we must find out what he is here.
Here we are, but as you know, I was pulled here from another parallel reality.
I'm going to just keep rambling on. You're going to do something like this.
So, are we going to find the villain we need to find in those cogs? We have Primary, who revealed she knows who the bad guy is.
Well, I'm pretty sure he's the one sent for us.
How do you know who that is?
Well, I'm pretty sure he's the one that sent for us.
Oh, how do you know that?
Well, a bunch of us were sent here to make sure the malcontents were not going to destroy the secrets in there or disrupt the work.
We were sent here to make sure the job got done, actually.
What? Apparently they died, so you failed.
But then they didn't, so you didn't.
We had to improvise when the protoforms started messing around and were clearly sentient and headed for the tombs.
Primary, weren't you a fire truck bot?
Hello, cybernetics genius Shadow Dancer. It's good to know you're back. You may know who that is, but he's a Cillian and a heretic just for coming here. The one who sent you is called Gemelt, and he cannot create new transformers. He's merely borrowing the tech from inactive computers in this place. Stealing's more like it. Well, who's ever been using this place has reactivated many of these sparks and glowing rocks and left them lying around for us to find. Here he comes now. All hail the New Mexico.
That is our mysterious benefactor.
He's a lowly human and not much of a threat. If I were a dog bot, I would finish him. What is he going to do to us? Well, I haven't been paid, so nothing, at least not yet. I hate that idea. I don't seem to like any ideas. Well, that's true. Well, if I were to make an educated guess, I would say we need to set a trap for the villain, and when he shows up, we'll grab him. Sounds reasonable. What do you intend to do with a trap of yours? Making one might be more of a challenge than I thought. We're protoforms. If only we could have vehicle modes, we'd roll out and leave. We never found the cogs from earlier. I guess our plan originally was to scavenge the robots for parts, but when they were so badly decimated, there were no parts to be found. That's part of it. I just wanted to make sure any sparks might be intact. They weren't, but Primary touched a sphere of dark energy. Yes, it did, and I saw a version of myself on the other side.
I'm not sure the dead space I saw can help us here. Contacting the others from the beyond is dangerous and highly defiles the fallen heroes. Do not do that again. Talking to your inner spirits doesn't work. They're just part of you. I also have touched the stuff. Never been into that voodoo. What do you think? Me, I don't. Don't look at me. We're going to trap this bad guy first. Where would a bad guy hacker hang out? Gummelts used to be one of the employees at the Simultech Industries until the whole thing was destroyed. Accessing the database. Apparently he was one of the workers in a minor role under Straaburg in the Battle of 2010. Why would he set these things in motion just to trap us? It doesn't make sense if we were already destroyed, but he hacked into and restored our personality components. How did our personalities get saved after floating off like chaff to the wind? Who restored them? I used to haul cargo for the Karda. I even could transport some of them. I could not read their minds. News to me. You just never bothered, but I didn't either. Why would he restore all of you unless it was part of some sick game of revenge or humiliation? This is like kicking a dead horse. It's dead there, all covered in flies and turning to bones. Why would you want to kick it? I don't think that's it. I think he intended us to be some sort of slave army to follow him, to invade the Earth and dig in so the Transformers wouldn't be able to get rid of us. Well, if that was the case, then it's kind of silly. You have noticed the level of silliness so far, right? This is clearly meant to be an existential reboot. The enemy vehicle remains over there at the perimeter. Why would he want to get rid of us? He's just evil and figure out he can do what he wants because he's psychotic. A bot without conscience is not a bot without a soul. It means no moral compass, no filter. The soul is there, it's just not allowed to direct the action. I preferred to have my fire vehicle powers back, so I can just fry the enemy when he comes. We're not even sure if that car in the distance is our target or some other scavenger. Sometimes crazy works, like you can get away with it if you say you're crazy. But then you wouldn't be crazy. That's a possibility, but whatever the case, we must go find the bad guy. Should we walk around as protoforms until we run out of energy looking for the creature? Or should we act and go up to that car and ask him? And for all it seems, this story is kind of keeping us in the same place. That's because we don't know what our programming tells us to do. So we don't know why we're here. I suspect that we are being watched, and the enemy wishes to observe from a distance, planning his next move, as we are not what he expected at all. I am a cyberneticist and called a Robotech Master. Although it is similar, it is not the least of my powers. I would guess you have been called here for a purpose, but don't know what it is. The Karda are usually brought back to fight each other to the death, so the Transformers don't have to. That'd be my guess, but as protoforms we can't fight. We have to have body shells. We don't have those. We don't have transformation cogs, which are vital to a robot's shell so they can transform. We just have sparks as protoforms. The dead robots around here all had cogs, but you won't defile them further. Yeah, they're all in pieces. Not a single one is intact. I don't know why. There are roughly 24 of us intact, so far. And though the synthoids over there are technically, and Shadow is sort of a synthoid, and the other bad guy is a synthoid. And there's Transitron from another dimension. How'd you get here? I am from the Rise of the Beast timeline in 1994. Like the Cillian, we are out of space-time, as our binary bonded actors are from 2024. My scene was cut from the movie, so technically I'm not here. I'm here to observe and report, assuming that Gammelt got sent for me as well. You cannot be the third incarnate deity. I'm not the third deity. That'd be impossible. I don't think any of us were that. Primary, you're also an observant one. Yes, what is your purpose? To observe us as well? Well, yes, but also to make sure the mission is completed. However, when we were on our way here, we forgot how the mission... You forgot what the mission was? Oh, so did I. Oh dear. Do you know what the mission was? That's ridiculous. How could you forget the mission? I am not your Transitron, but have a similar name. The mission was known to me, but then I forgot it. And when I touched the rock, it came back to me. The Dark Energon. I discovered what my mission was. The mission was to find out what was happening at Simultech, and I did. Now my programming has been fulfilled, so I have no other plan. But that's bonkers! Well, no more so than having brought us back to fight, I suppose. So here we are, and we have no plan. 23 robots have been restored. Yeah, where's this Gammelt now? Does he have a robot?
I do not know, but I suspect he's the one parked by that vehicle out there.
Probably, so let's just go there and gang up on him. We're protoforms. We can't just make body shells and fight the bad guys when they show up.
There's not enough pieces out there.
We'd just be pretenders anyway. We would not have the ability to transform, but could transform our vehicles.
Yeah, it's kind of silly that once the bus robot guys over there would simply be buses.
The other gestalts have been fire control machines.
Yes, and some gestalts were cat-like ones, and others were dog-like ones.
No, what do you know? I mean, do you know we're all protoforms, right? I guess our minds were brought back online because they were stored in that.
Vector Sigma was made of the same material as the rocks and broken power matrix. They're connected to Primus, the god of light, and to Cybertron. So they say.
Unicron is this evil other side, the god of darkness. But I'm also curious to know, Shadow Dancer, any thoughts?
It is not the power matrix, not the original. The human-created copy of the power matrix was lost in the great battle between Straaburg and Chip Chase.
There were other power matrices, though they were reconstructed, and this is probably the one from 2015.
If I were to speculate, they're using the one from the Space Bridge timeline. That would make this an offshoot of that timeline, like all Transformers mush and lexicons. But the final battle of mush was fought at Area 51 on Earth, not here.
I imagine we were saved for a reason, and our memories and souls grafted onto the protoforms that resided here after mush was terminated. I think it more likely we're living in the Rossmokom timeline. The names are similar, the battles copying, but the stories are different enough.
You mean that queen lady we found all plated over is running the show?
I'm not tricking you again, but you're not wrong.
I'm not. The energon that powers the last of the brood is hers, and the incubators that kept the protoforms forged is hers. Status chambers awakened, and you all came online.
Jillian Straaburg. The aliens somehow downloaded her mind.
I thought that was improbable, after all it happened with other humans. So not impossible, but improbable. We have programmed as Karda, preserved from the well of all sparks, to come back again. We are the little robots, and we're here.
The little robots are here too. You're the little robots.
Yeah, 3 of us synthoids.
Oh, yeah, just the 3 of us.
Shadow Dancer, one of us, make it 4. I'm from another reality and cannot be one of you, any more than Transitron can. I'll have to leave you soon. As will she.
Yes, we cannot remain here. Gemelt must be found. The cogs' bodies must be used. Our mission will then be complete. Leaving us so soon is like we barely get to know each other. I wish to learn more from you. The malcontents will make excellent little robots, and they will learn the ways of the Karda. You all have them to learn from.
They give us body shells, we'll be drivers of some of the body shells.
Essentially a cold reboot.
I wonder what that Vector Sigma thing was thinking. Dun, 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 dun.
We should go find and touch rarefied energon and see what it does. And that's not a bad idea. Yes, let us go find some. The dark purple stuff will mess you up. It'll be a bad day.
A bad trip, man.
The regular plastic purple stuff just fuels you.
But if you drink too much, you get smashed like you're drunk.
The green stuff does things to space-time. Let's not be messing with that. The red stuff burns you out. Heard about that? That leaves the white shiny stuff, rare energon. That means it glows.
Beast Wars timeline took place 300 years after 2006, roughly. Maybe 2306. In the time of that space, the prehistoric stuff took place eons in the past, through the wormhole. Beast machines created a different alternate timeline, where their 2300s were altered until restored by the Allspark.
Yes, it's very powerful. Just a light tap or you'll be burned out. It's from Beast Machines, which bled into this timeline through Machine Wars in 1999. It's from the Beast Machines, which bled into this timeline through Machine Wars in 1999. The only surviving Transformer from that was a version of Sandstorm, commanded by Sean Berger, who was killed over Oakland, California on Earth, the Battle of Straaburg and Chip Chase in 2010. In the prehistoric timeline, the energon was everywhere, and would mess with robotic forms. Like we really needed that information anyway. Some of you are animals, probably Maximals. That is how I came here as a Cillian. I am connected to the 23rd and 24th centuries via Cillian realms, where I can go from current 2025 to 2325 and to 2403. I will touch the rock. Stand back. Here goes. Yes, and the other synthoids will watch her too. Did anybody find any transformation cogs yet? We didn't look yet. We should be looking for those. It's important to find them, and soon. And more rocks, crystals. Let's go look for good ones. I found a broken one. Let's find some more later. We must keep looking. Let us see. Yeah, it appears to be right. Regular purple, rarefied energon does not appear to be weird in any way. You can touch it. That didn't sound weird. Creepy. Who wants to touch it? School bus bot? You should touch it. I was about to touch the other one, but this one is pretty. I'm going to touch it instead. I don't want any of the dimensional ones touching the rocks. We know what it did to primary. I agree. I'd only see what happened in my timeline, which would be no help here. He's been hovering near the crystal for some time. Just get on with it. The observer car has not moved. So what it does is pull him back. Let's do this. Okay, ready, go for it. School bus bot is generally a good guy. Very well, you may touch the orb. Do it. I will now touch the orb. What is this place? Where am I? Am I transformed? Greetings, school bus bot. I am the first combiner. Amalgamous, the first combiner. Astounding. The 13 primes were built as the first transformers by Primus. I'm one of them, yes. I am here to meet with those that reside within the Matrix or the Well of the Allsparks and get my friends' bodies back. Your mission has not been set. It is fluid like a protoform in stasis. Yeah, but what is our mission? The bot that was once another bus former is not your leader. Transitron is not one of us. The guy from the other dimension. He looks a little like our leader, but he doesn't combine. You cannot combine anymore. And we're all protoforms. We came back, and we want to know why our minds and souls are all back. Quintus Prime, one of our group, made all transformers possible by creating the Quintessons who begat them all. He used the materials from Cybertron itself, from Primus. The rocks we found are copies of that, then? Cheap knockoffs, yes. The humans made them using inferior tech, stolen from the one-dimensional orb they had discovered. The celestial orb, the Grayson Obji. They are not as good as the originals, but did the job, and created life, Cybertronic life. Megatron found the orb in the 80s, and used it to create some of his own army, only for Optimus Prime to take it back and create some of his own. Wait a minute, you're just giving my own information back to me. That is because I'm part of you and you are part of me. The Allspark is connected, like a hive mind, somewhat, and we can look back into our past for wisdom. Why were some of us made into mere buses? What a better disguise than something as common as a street bus. No one would ever know. So we're knockoffs? Fakes? You're knockoffs of the Jillian Rossmokom, but she was never his legitimate mate, merely his concubine, in his fantasies. We're preserved copies of dead Karda, or zombie knockoffs. Well, yes, you are, but that doesn't diminish your special nature. You can still combine. I see. What can we do to achieve the ability to transform? You wish to become Transformers. I once wielded the Scythe of Destiny, which can allow this power. It can remake transformation cogs and even whole bodies. But the Scythe was used by Dracatronus, who called himself Destiny. In the final battle of the newer Karda in 2023, it was presumed lost. Well, go get it, man. How do I do that? I cannot tell you that because I'm part of you. It's within you that you can combine and reform the transformation within. It's like I'm talking to myself, or my overblown superego. Oh yeah. You're only gone a few seconds. What happened? I had the most annoying conversation with Amalgamous Prime, the father of all combiners. He told me things I already knew, but he did tell me something I didn't. That's kind of what happened to Primary. He mentioned his sickle scythe, the device that can rebuild and reforge cogs and bodies. Raksha. You wouldn't by chance happen to know where that is, would you? No mortal can possess artifacts from the primes and wield them. Dracatron created me and 3 others after violating the twins Rakshi and Raksha for kicks. Only it didn't work. I watched them slaughter each other. The 4 horse bots of the apocalypse and the end of Cybertron life turned out to be merely one me. You were at the Area 51 battle 2 years ago? I was, and they destroyed the new gods just as they slayed the others. The question is, who wields the sickle scythe now? Ah, I'm committed. I used to be a lonely clerk under Gorky in Straaburg, but wasn't very good at cybernetics. I worked in the ad department. Yeah, but I had help. Now I shall have an army. I never met you, but you sound incompetent. Too much so to have done this. I had help activating the robots and put them back online, but I don't know what I'm doing. I was given the idea by some of the people that were behind here. The Queen. All hail our new Queen, the royalty. What? I'm not a queen. Quit calling me that. But you are the Queen. You have the power. You have shown it here. Please tell us your plan for us. I must know. Yes, you know, technology is the wave of the future. Marketing genius, but not so good with cybernetics. Then the visions came into me. I had to act on them. Or else what? Let me guess. Battleships Spark threaten to reveal your Transformers shipping porn collection to the world if you refused. What a loser. That's not helping. Huh. So you made a deal with Cobra to send synthoids in here to mess with the Transformers because you were bored. That is kind of nuts. I didn't want it to be revenge, because that would have been stupid. Too late for that flesh creature. But didn't he die in 2010 in the first battle in fighting Chip? He isn't Gorky, he's one of his minions. He didn't die. We wanted transformation cogs and couldn't find them. And bodies. But now this sad thing came in here. Yeah, in order to be an army, we need cogs and bodies. You can't possibly be thinking of following this bonkers nutcase. The timeline is a mess. The Maxis were to change sides and become the Predacons, and the Karda would become the Maximals. I assure you that was a lie to make you feel better while in limbo. The Master told me all about it. You can't use the cogs to reactivate the robots because they're all broken. They'd all be broken now. They'd be a mess. Perhaps we should assemble all the rocks together and make a matrix out of it and use it to rejuvenate them. But a power matrix is only used for dimensional travel and stuff, and it doesn't really bring it. It's not supposed to create life. It's not a creation matrix. It's like a dead matrix. A matrix muerta. So it's one of the dead ones, the copies. And if it was put together, it would be inferior quality. You cannot create life from it. I used one to get here. I had help. You can use it to travel dimensions and stuff. It's a relic left over from one of the other primes. It was called Vector Prime. He was a time travel prime. Yeah, so we could assemble the space bridge again. So some of you could decide to start reassembling that space bridge. This is my command. Rebuild. Yes, we shall gather the cogs and all the pieces and all the robot forms and bring them here. Yes, Master. It will take a bit longer to get them out here. Why are you following him? I have no urge to follow him. Me neither. Something is screwy. They're being manipulated by a cybertronic signal. I'm on it. Get me to a computer. I must do as he says. I feel compelled. Well, I don't. I'm repelled. We must stop them as Cybertronians. Shush. I have a plan. We have brought you the strong bodies and cogs that we've discovered from the wreckage. Shall transform once more, Master. Excellent. Soon the Master will be revived and become the true Robotech and Cybertron Master. Soon the world will know my name is Legion, and I will destroy the Transformers with their own creations. I don't know how you're controlling the Maxis factions, but it must have something to do with them being easier to manipulate. I'll break them out of it. You'll see. New body shells for the leaders. And then they can get us new body shells. We're just going to make the number 30 Karda, that's all. Simultech's cheap knockoff of the mega computer will just blow up in your faces. Stop this foolishness now. How humiliating. Our brother has joined a cult. We will get him back. Personality components are easier to bring back.
You are all heretic zealot heathens, but very well. The device is ready, fed through the protoculture. And what makes this possible? The crystals of the energon, and the material from Primus itself.
Don't do it. You will kill us all.
For the royalty. For the royalty.
Do we have a flashlight? Big, bright flashlight.
I cannot let you have the two. I will binary bond with one. No, you will not. Stop him. It's too late. I am transformed. It is not ready, but very well. I will merge with the second. Transform dash.
Primary, you can handle this. Put a stop to it. I am primary. Cannot be the leader of the group. I'm a transformer. And when I go back to my other form, I'll be a transformer again.
I cannot be the new deity either. I'm a transformer with no timeline anymore. No. Don't look at me like that. Oh, I'm coming out of a trance. What did you do? I think I've been roofied. I cannot be the new deity either because I was the other guy. Yeah, you're all heretics and blasphemers. I shall not merge with one of them either.
Darkstripe, you never wanted to lead. Why would you follow a leader now? What? What happened to me? I don't like bosses of any kind.
Transitron, you're closer to the maelstrom. Go there and stop it.
What have I got to lose? I don't exist anywhere else. No, it can't do that.
The royalty is dead. He was a false one. Transitron, I will avenge you.
His spark is free to return to the Matrix. As is his.
Sparks are everywhere. Can we catch the sparks? I don't see how. They're going over there. They're going to light.
What in the name of Prime? Hold on. What are you doing, Primary? They need another connection, or else it won't work. Don't worry, I'll return.
Maybe this was a bad idea.
A little late, as we are transformed. Well, not with you.
Arise, air flyer, and transform. No, arise, my master. Arise, battleship bot. I'm air flyer. How long have I been gone?
Years, but we can explain later.
I see. You are misfire.
I am here with you, Air Flyer, and you, Shadow Dancer. Transform your destiny.
How did I survive the transformation?
It doesn't matter. The point is that we are back.
No, it does not matter, because I'm battleship bot again, and I will crush the Karda. The foolish lackey has done my beating. Save me. Please kill him. Kill him with something. It seems that you are terrified. As you soon will be. What have you done? You have defiled the defeated. You have turned on the no longer among us. I do not want to be part of that. Tough, you are part of us now.
That thing is no Maxwell. You know Autobot either. Doombot was in the head all along. The spark.
My head. What did I do? Well, I feel like I had an all-night party. Wah! The sparks are immortal. That makes us limited here. We need cogs and body shells. My minions, you will follow me into a new age of destruction and chaos. You have no choice. You must follow me. He does seem a little full of himself, doesn't he? Something sobered you up, did it?
I think it was a discharge. The energon itself is merely a conduit for Primus. That means we're transformed.
He's coming over here. Catbots, maximize and attack.
Dogbots, terrorize and attack. Get out of here. I will take this. It's all about combination and integration. Busabots, transform! Firebots and cons, transform.
They're fighting over there. It'll be very fun. Very cool.
You would think that. Get stuffed.
Look out. Are you trying to get killed?
No, just a little closer. Little robots, distraction. I didn't think we were going to turn good guys. The thing is bigger than just Battleship Bot. Some kind of Frankenstein thing. The doctor wasn't called that. The monster was.
That'll about do it. The duplication device will activate.
You shall not stop me. No force in the universe will stop me. Then I shall be the first. All right, Queen Jillian. Let's make some history.
No, she has one of those rocks. Stop her.
Dun, 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 dun.
No, you cannot destroy the destiny.
She did it. She broke the spell. The bad guy's toasted. They can be rebuilt, but now the Doom is gone, they can live their own destiny.
You defiled the base. It's decimated.
At least we're not decimated. No, and we're still cute. Primary and Transitron return to their own time, but Gemelt is right there. What's left of it? Mommy, where are my Autobots? He's now special and will need the short bus. Oh, now I get it. Kind of mean, but yeah. I tied into the Great Combiner's power using the rock and stopped the battle. This was a cybertronic colony of copies before Rossmokom. They found it and reformatted it in their image. The Scythe chose you, daughter of the last to wield the sickle. And bingo. And that's what makes me the royalty.
There goes the neighborhood. I wonder though, if this isn't Earth, where are we?
It's a double of Cyber Earth. The Preservers left it. It's a spaceship, an Autobot ship.
What do we tell them? We don't even have vehicle modes.
Worry about that later. This begins another transformation.
Indeed it does.
Fellow Karda. I'm back.
I'll join up with you guys. Now I'm just one of the Gestalt parts.
I am Solus, and thanks to the mind devices, I am back as well. Well, a version of Solus.
Ah yes, the two fallen ones. Bring them back too.
I do not understand. I didn't think you meant you would literally return immediately. I'm Night Racer. I knew you'd be here.
Dun 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. I promise I will only fight you sometimes from now on.
Okay then, I'm back. And with me, that makes 30 of us. That's 6 Gestalts.
How do they find us?
Primary must have told them somehow, but now she's one of us. So are they. Are you ready to see the galaxy and go where no one dared go before? We're prepared for whatever awaits us out there, but it's good to see you again. A wise bot once said, freedom is the right of all sentient being. Transform your destiny. Be more than meets the eye.